Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengals fan on most of the major platforms. And as you can see, I am joined here with Sam Schneider from Primetime Sports Talk. And this is another episode of Jungle Talk.
Woo, baby. Yes, let's go.
This is the Jungle Talk half road edition because only Sam, as you can see in the background, is in Las Vegas right now. I will be heading up on Saturday. Oh, the Eiffel Tower just changed nicely for you. I will be heading out on Saturday, so I'll be joining.
I set that up.
I know, perfect. Yeah. It's like we call it. It's amazing. So, but he's in Vegas already, and we're going to preview the upcoming Bengal Raider game, which is a really important game for both teams. So, before we get started, please, if you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It's all we ask for. And Sam, tell them where they can find all your stuff.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at Buy and Sell You. I write for Primetime Sports Talk. Like Mark said, you can find us at Talk Primetime or primetimesportstalk.com.
All right. So here we go. We have an extremely important game coming up. Like I said in my last video where Sam was on the mend, that this team, this is where we wish we had made that one field goal against Green Bay. We hadn't blown the Jet game. We find ourselves, this is almost a must-win game if we plan on trying to make a postseason run. This Agreed. Is a must, and it's for both teams. I mean, both teams have been kind of Jekyll and Hyde the last couple of weeks. The Raiders have kind of, and we'll get into this, the Raiders have kind of had that how shall we say it, that they've been doing this the last few years where they jump out to like a 6-2 start and then finish the year with 7 wins, only win one of their remaining games. So
7 losses.
Yeah. So but we're gonna get into it. We'll do what we usually do. We're gonna talk about the things we don't feel good about and the things we feel good about, and then we'll throw our predictions up there. So let's get started. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't like how we typically come out of bye weeks. We don't historically have a great record out of byes. I'm hoping this is a different era, a different team, but that's one of the things that's troubling me. And they're hungry. This team got embarrassed. I mean, the Bengals blew the game against the Jets, and they responded by coming out flat and getting out coached against the Browns. So that doesn't make me feel good coming out of 2 bad games. The Raiders, like I said, they got embarrassed on Sunday Night Football last week. So they're going to come out guns a-blazing. They're going to be looking for us to be the bounce back team, which I don't want to be. So that's the first couple things I have that I'm not feeling good about.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, and I agree with you. The only thing I'll say to counter it is, the losing coming out of bye weeks, that goes along with, just kind of the historical culture of this team. And a lot of that culture, Zach Taylor has been able to change thus far. So with a good team now, as opposed to the last 2 years where the team just, wasn't quite up to, what he wanted. He didn't have all his pieces in place or whatever. Let's just see if he can make, some strides this time and change just yet another culture. And that is, I agree with you. I mean, losing coming out of the bye week seems to be our MO every time. Come out flat, come out tired. Although it does concern me a little bit that, if I'm not mistaken, I think he gave them Monday and Tuesday off this week before they came back to practice.
Well, they don't show a Tuesday practice for the Bengals. So,
yeah. So, I mean, when you're on your bye week, don't you just go ahead and bring everybody back then, like right on time, instead of being like, you know what, you take an extra day. You deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean, on one hand, I'm sure the players appreciated it, but on the other hand, that doesn't exactly lend to what I'm saying about possibly changing that culture of coming out of the bye week flat.
Yeah, I don't. Well, we're gonna see. I would love to reestablish and think this is a thing of the past. He'd never beaten Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. We got that. He'd never beaten or Baltimore. He was winless against Baltimore. We've kind of righted that ship. He did beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh last year with the famous who was our guy? I've already memory dumped that quarterback that somehow won that game.
It's probably, if you can't remember him now, it's probably not.
So, Finley,
right?
So, but
he's still in the league, by the way.
Well, yeah, Yeah, yeah.
Albeit
That's all we
maybe
can say is
he's
he's
like
still
the
in the league.
emergency
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. He's one of he's the practice squad quarterback.
But
So
I mean, the picture of him, grinning on the bottom of the pile against Pittsburgh is one of the classic Bengals pictures of all times.
right. So the other thing I have a couple other things is this is a key game for both teams. I mean, this is just a must win. We'll get into that. But Darren Waller, we struggle with the tight end, so for some reason we can't cover him, and that's their primary target is Darren Waller. And Deshaun Jackson is another one. He concerns me only because he got behind the defense last week against Kansas City and then fumbled the ball, which was a pivotal play in the game. And he's going to be looking. He's going to be looking to make a better impression on the Raider fan base this week. So I really concerns myself about that.
And for most of his career, Deshaun Jackson's been kind of a one-hit wonder where like he hits that one home run in the game, but that one home run could end up being the difference in the entire affair.
Right.
So all it takes is him getting loose for a 70-yard touchdown pass and scoring, and he's like, I'm done, picks up his lunch pail, goes home, and says, you guys take care of the rest of this.
Well, and we, like I said, we tend to be one of those teams that we work really hard for our scores, and then we seem to give them up on like one play.
Right.
Like we don't make the other team work really hard for their score. We just kind of give it to them. And it's like, oh, okay, now we're back out on the field for another, 12 play drive. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. One of the things, and do you have anything else that's bad? Because in terms of,
I'm following along with you. I mean, there's nothing that's, particularly gutting at me, except for what you just said about Deshaun kind of leads into just the fact that they, the Raiders pretty much live and die by the pass. And it's no secret that our secondary has not been amazing this year.
No, not at all.
Derek Carr's got almost 3,000 yards already. He's averaging like eight yards per attempt, 5.5 yards per completion, which isn't awesome, but he's completing almost 70% of his passes,
right?
Which is really, really good. I mean,
yeah,
I think Troy Aikman completed like 62% of his. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Derek Carr is on like a 70% pace. So, I mean, our cornerbacks, they've got to be on it.
Right.
They've got to be on it. And the safety's got to be ready to protect overhead.
Yeah. Our biggest thing is this game really rests on our defense. We will be able to put up points on the Raiders. Yeah. But the question is our defense going to put up a better effort than they did we gave 35 up to the Jets. Now, granted, we gave a short field up on the Burrow interception, but we can't. And then we obviously put up a 40 burger against the Browns. We can't have that. The defense has got to play, has got to give us, we got to get some stops to get off the field. So
and
that's why I'm wearing a defensive jersey. I'm wearing a Delta O'Neal jersey because
I'm wearing Keith Rivers, right?
There you go.
To piggyback on that, the other thing, just like you just said, Burrow can't do that. He cannot give up that interception on his own end of the field that leads to immediate points, because they'll take advantage. These are not your father's Raiders. They might be your grandfather's Raiders,
right?
But they are not your father's Raiders. And they have the capability of scoring at any moment, regardless of who the head coach is. They can score. So we need to make sure we're taking care of the ball. Joe, as much as I love his cockiness, I love the fact that he thinks he can fit that ball in there. I love that he thinks this is a great opportunity. We need him to make sure that he's really going through his read and deciding whether it's worth it to try it, remembering where he is on the field, and then deciding, do I try it or do I pitch it?
Yeah. That pick six was a first down play.
Right.
The one that he threw in the end zone. I mean, throw it to where only our receiver can catch it. And if you don't complete it, we live to play another down. Anything would have been better than the pick six. Right. That really set us down the rabbit hole, so to speak, in Alice in Wonderland. That's where we went. And like I said, it's really, you look at the games, and it's not just our game. This is with other teams. Dallas had a long drive to start their game against Denver, and Prescott got intercepted in the end zone. They were the next thing they knew, they were down 27-0. I mean, this is a common thing when you set a tone like that. So it's very important, and that leads me right into,
especially when you're on the road.
Yeah, and that leads you right into what I wanted to talk about, which was the Raiders typically, like us, start slow. They've dug holes, first half holes against themselves. We need to start fast in this game. We need to take advantage of that. And so that's something we absolutely have to do. This is the winner of this game is going to be 6-4 and looking good. And the loser of this game is going to fall back to 5-5 and really be chasing the rest of the year. The Raiders are also know they have to go to Dallas on Thanksgiving. That's their next game. So right after our game, they're on the short week going to Dallas on Turkey Day, not a place you want to be. So they're looking to grab this game. They're looking at those two games and saying, we got to get this Bengal game because the chances are we're not going to go into Dallas and outscore.
Right, because they just got their butts kicked. And they know they got to go to Dallas. In between, they're like, we've got to beat the Bengals in between these two games.
There's going to be severe urgency on their part, and rightfully so. We have to have that same kind of urgency. We have to know, listen, we're going home to play the Steelers, who are not going to want to get swept by us. No. So, and if we can bag these couple games, we get this one and carry that momentum into next week, change our whole season versus if we drop this game. So we need to be focused. So anything else you want to throw out there before we throw our predictions out here?
You know what? I'm feeling really good about, as much as we want to start fast, I don't think that means we have to just bomb the ball immediately.
Oh, no.
I think, and I'm not suggesting that's what you're saying. The Raiders are really susceptible to the run. This could be a really good game for Joe Mixon. You break two tackles, and then it's pretty easy to elude some of their linebackers and some of their safeties. So this is a great opportunity for Joe to get out there. Does that mean I think that's the game plan we're going to follow? Not really. What I think they're going to do is they're going to say, yeah, we're going to run. And then when it doesn't work twice, it's going to be 60-yard try to Chase, 60-yard try to Higgins, 60-yard try to Chase. Hey, if it works, I'm all for it. Right. I'm just saying the game script says Joe Mixon can carry you to victory in this game.
Yes.
And you can burn clock and not worry about turning the ball over or anything like that. Put the rock in his hand and let him go.
Yeah. When I say start fast, I mean we don't do 3 and outs.
Right.
I would love to see us establish the run the ball. The Chiefs, ran effectively against them. And the other thing is that the Raiders, while they're not ranked poorly on pass defense, most of their stats they get from the Giant game and from some lesser opponents. When they played the Chiefs and they played the Chargers, they gave up 3 to 5 touchdowns per game. So they are susceptible to to giving up yards, but we have to stay focused and not have 3 and outs, sustain drives, mixing in good play calling. Zach's going to have to coach this game. We can't go into it. I really felt like we didn't have a plan going into the Browns game. I agree. First time this season, I really felt like we got completely outcoached, out executed. It was a team loss, but outcoached as well.
Well, and I think I really hope that Anarumo took this week to watch a lot of film. I mean, I assume he did. That's what all coaches do. They watch tons of film because all the mojo that he had to start the season seems to have just disappeared.
2 weeks.
Gone. And if the mojo from your coach disappears, guess what happens to the guys on the field?
Same.
They're like looking around like what's happening right now?
Yeah.
And next thing you know, people are pointing fingers at each other and such like that. So I hope Anarumo took this time to, and I don't even game plan race. I just wanted him to, watch some film and say, all right, where did it start going wrong? What did we start doing differently? What did I start doing differently that made us go from being one of the top defenses to just getting gashed by 2 horrible teams?
Right.
So I sincerely hope he remedied that. It's not like we're going to shut out the Raiders. That's not what I'm expecting. I'm
No.
not expecting that sort of thing. Um, I just want him to look ready, and by him looking ready, our unit looks ready.
Right. So yeah, with all the stuff where the Raiders statistically were looking good against the pass, Tyreek Hill didn't seem like he had problems getting open. So
Yeah.
I mean, there will be openings, but they ran the ball effectively. So we need to do that too. We cannot get away from the run.
Well, that's the thing. I think the Raiders give up. They give up. I'm going to make stats up off the top of my head. They give up something like 160 yards rushing per game. And so their passing stats defensively, their passing stats don't look too bad. They give up like
Right.
210, 219, something like that. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's why their pass defense looks really good. It's not that they're not susceptible. It's not that they have a great pass defense. It's just that teams are finding that they can run on them,
Right.
and they're like, let's just keep running.
Right.
Keep running until we don't till we can. And then we'll throw the ball once, and then we'll run 3 more times.
So, well, like I said, both these teams have lost 2 in a row. This is a big game. This also has huge tiebreaker implications down the road.
Agreed.
If the Raiders and Bengals are tied for that wild card, because now it looks like the Chiefs have reasserted themselves. They're going to win their division, and if we find ourselves not contending for the division but looking for a wild card, this is going to be one of those games that could determine it. So
yeah.
So this is huge. All right. With all that, why don't you tell me what your prediction is for the game? I didn't see your article yet, so I don't know what you
It just published today at 5:00 Eastern. So
Okay.
I'll put it in the comments for anybody that's interested in my picks on the rest of the games as well as 2 other writers. Myself and both writers picked a clean sweep for the Bengals in this game.
Okay.
I think it's going to be, I picked the score 11 points apart, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than it seems. I think it's going to be kind of a thriller, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if it's one of the most exciting games to watch on Sunday. And I sure hope it is, since we'll both be there.
So what's your score?
31-20.
31-20. Okay. I had a 34-24. But I have it where I had almost the same feeling, like it's 27-24, and we get the score to kind of put it away, or the Raiders pressing to kind of come back. We get a big defensive turnover or something. But I had the same kind of thing where I think it's going to be a hard fought game. We're right in line with what Vegas thinks, because the over under on this game is 50. So this is one of the higher scoring games of the week. I thought this game might get flexed into the evening when the Steelers had the bad start. I thought if the Steelers stay on this downward spiral, they're not going to have the San Diego. There you go again. The Chargers Steeler game. They would flex out of that, and this was one of the games I thought they might flex to. But then Steelers obviously, are back in the mix. I mean, basically the AFC North hit the reset button. This is like opening day again for us.
Right.
Well, and where we are in this, everybody's separated by a game. So
I had the same feeling about the possibility of the flex until I realized that Dallas and Kansas City is on the schedule also, and I was like, "Nah, we're not getting flex in that spot. Well, if anybody's getting flex in there, it's Cowboys Chiefs."
But remember, the networks get to protect one game.
Right.
So Fox was going to protect that game.
Yeah,
they would say, okay, we're protecting this game. CBS protects their game, and then it's what's left, kind of thing. So
I don't mind. It's going to be a beautiful day for football. I'm looking forward to you getting down here, and we'll figure out some way to record our post game.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna. I don't know if we're gonna do it at a hotel. I don't know if we're gonna do it outside the stadium. I don't know if we're gonna shoot it on a phone or what we're gonna do. It's kind of all up in the air. So
we'll sit in front of the Bellagio fountains, and
there you go.
Let those go off in the background. That way, if you don't like what we're saying, you can watch all the pretty colors and lights go by.
Yeah, but we also have the traffic noise. So it's like I said, we don't know, but we're gonna play it by ear. We'll definitely put something up that night. Somehow, some way, we will get a recap video up, and we'll be on location. So this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. You need to subscribe and hit the bell so you get the alert. So
Wait, subscribe? What?
yes,
Like
hit the
down
button
here?
right there. It's right there in the corner. You go to the
How much does that cost?
cost you nothing.
Doesn't cost anything?
Just the effort of clicking the subscribe button.
What? Might as well turn on those notifications too and get the
Hit the
ding
little
ding
bell.
when we go off.
Hit the bell and you'll know immediately. Oh my God, Sam and Mark put up another Jungle Talk because I just got a notification on my phone from YouTube.
Let's do it.
It's all we ask. So, all right, with that, I'm really looking forward to getting up there. You're already there. Go win some money before I get up there. And just like I said, looking forward to it. I don't know. Have you talked to anybody? Is Sean Moore making the trip? Anybody?
Sean Moore will be in the black hole, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
AKA Who Day Baby, for anybody who doesn't know who we're talking about.
Right.
He will be in the black hole. We've got a bunch of people from Bengals West. They're going to roll up. I know Mark's got some friends that are going to be there.
I'm in a group of 6 coming up. So it'll be interesting.
My buddy Hep from Bengals West, and he's staying with me, and Pete, who helped start the group. They're both going. Hep and I will be sitting with Mark and his daughter, and it's going to be a blast. We're just going to roll over that tailgate lot and find some Bengals fans to hang out with. And I think there's going to be a lot of orange in that stadium.
I think so too. The typically what's happened is it's about 50-50 because the Raiders, because of where they're located, they're inherently it's the number 1 tourist destination. So you have people, we've been watching it on Twitter and on Facebook pages. How many fans are planning on this was the game everybody picked. Oh, I'll go to Vegas.
Yeah, of course. And why not?
Take the wife to see Celine Dion. You can kind of work it all out. Or, Santana. I don't know who's playing in Vegas these days, but I know there's some residencies. Styx is doing a month starting in January.
Celine's probably here somewhere. She's
but I'm saying, but you can.
I probably passed her on the street today and didn't even know.
So, but it's like you can appease the wife. But this is one of those games and that's going to be the nature of the Raiders in Vegas. It's going to be a 50-50 split. So we'll see.
Hopefully we're right and we see a lot of orange down there.
Would love to see it. So, all right. Well, like I said, I'll be up there Saturday. We'll do our recap. And with that, I'm going to say, "Hoo day, everybody." And Sam's frozen. Are you there?
I'm here, baby.
There you go. Hoo day, everybody. We will catch you after the game. Hopefully after a Bengal win on Sunday. Take care, everybody.
Hoo day.
Hoo day.